YouTubers. Mike here from RC Revolutions again. I'm going to be doing another quick little video on my clutch for my motor that I did a previous video on. So I did the pull start. I haven't put it back together yet because I figured I might as well do the whole thing before I throw her back in the truck and take her for a rip. So we're going to be changing out the bell clutch. We're going to be using this guy here, the Turtle Racing Grabber for the lookie. The reviews I've checked on this guy says it's much better grip and grab, so it faster response on the throttle. And then basically after that, might as well put the clutch in. This is the MIP 8-shoe clutch system. Another great unit. I haven't tried it out yet, so just bear with me here, and hopefully I don't screw up on the install. Let's get going on this. Alright, so we're going to go in here and we're going to pull this bad boy apart. So, let's get the first section off. Okay, so that's the mount for the, that's right, two different sizes. Go figure. Ooh, this doesn't have much torque. Whoa, look at that. Spun it right out. Okay, well that might actually take a hand tool to get that one off. There we go. Lock her up. Break a seal. Okay. I'll gear that back up. Oh yeah, it's pretty much chewed up. The clutch is not in bad shape. It's probably about, I'd say, 3/4 of the way left on that bad boy. Pretty dirty, you know, typical clutch unit. Okay, so now we gotta take these guys off here. Probably gonna keep all this stuff just to be on the safe side for a backup, because there's still quite a bit of clutch shoe left. I think I've only got about 2 tanks on this clutch, so it's not overly bad. Pull her out. So take that over to the garbage can over here. Alright guys, so I had to pull the retainer here for the clutch. So an easy and fast way to get this off, if you don't have a clutch puller, is you just put 2 of the screws in here, and you tighten them all the way down. And then you just keep tightening back and forth, about a 1/4 turn each way back and forth, and eventually she just pops off. And then you just discard that, and you're just left with the spline there. Not the spline, just a slide shaft. Give her a nice little clean in there. Now what you're going to do is you've got this guy here. This is the housing that holds all the clutches in here and all the springs and everything like that. So I'm actually just going to reset the camera, and we'll get shown how that goes all together. Okay, so I'm just going to disconnect the camera here quickly and just kind of show you. So this is the hardware you get. You get the tensioner springs, the set screws for the top plate, the main tensioner screw for the actual clutch itself. Then there's this little stopper spigot here which stops the screw from backing out. Your 8 clutches, and of course the clutch plate, and a little tiny bit of blue thread lock. Okay, so I'm on the second to last one here. So same thing, like I said, you have that bevel there, the shoes there, you just drop that down so it lines up. And this one here is the last one basically, you gotta shimmy it in there. It's gonna be a bit more of a pain in the butt than I thought, this last one. But, just give me 2 seconds to pop this clutch out a bit. And get it seated. And then you're going to have to slide the spring in from the front to the back. Okay, so you just slide the last one in, it's the hardest one to do, and you just push down. So now what they recommend you do is use a spring hook. What I'm using is just this little tiny needle piece here, so you want to put pressure on it, like that, and then just push it up and behind there, and push it down. And then the last one is I had to loosen it a little too tight for the last piece there. So you do the same thing. pop it down. You want to make sure they're all flush like that, so they're all good to go. So now this can be mounted in the motor. Okay, so now we're ready to put the clutch in. Very simple process. You just drop her in like that. Make sure you got your piston stop in there. You take this guy here. This is the one that buttons that guy down. Just gotta grab the proper size screwdriver bit for that. I believe it's a 3/16. No, it's not. It's metric. All right. So number 5. Number 5 is good. So basically, they don't recommend putting thread lock on this, believe it or not, because it's going to be torsioned down through the with the clutch there. So basically, what you're going to do with this guy here, actually too much compression on the motor, I'm going to back it off and spin it around. Just got to pop this piston stop all the way out. Because I put the new pole starter on before I did this, which I should have done this first, because you can't spin the new pole starter on, it doesn't have that same centrifugal force there. There we go. So now she's hitting top dead center. So now with this guy here, they recommend you screw it down until you can't turn it anymore, just like that. Everything seems nice and tight. So now you gotta take this guy here, and you gotta slide it over all those holes there. So now everything should line up with these screws underneath, which are these 4 little screws right here. Now these, they do recommend that you do use a thread lock. Which they give you just enough to put on these screws. Line up. They're not exactly lining up properly here, which isn't a good sign unless I've got this thing bass backwards, which is a possibility. Nope, only goes in one way. There we go. So let's put some more thread lock on there, as I lost it. And then what you're going to do is just snug these up. You don't want to have them too tight. There's one. There's 2. Some more thread lock on her. And last but not least, go around and double snug them, just because once you tighten one it may loosen off another. Okay, there you have it. There is the clutch, all in there and good to go basically. So now when you put this guy down, she should sit flush and there should be no rubbing. That's upside down. So there should be no rubbing once that clutch is in. So, okay, for the last part of this build, so I usually use a pipe wrench to get onto the pinion gear here. Pull her apart. Slide that guy off. She's in good shape still. That just slides out. Just changed those bearings about a week ago or so, or 2 weeks ago. So basically now we have this guy. the last piece of this, I guess, drivetrain you could call it. I'll pull that stupid sticker out. Lots of those from this. So yeah, it's, you know, it's got some decent little gripper wells in there. I don't know if you can see those, probably. So that's going to help it just catch and go a lot faster. So when she sits on there, it's going to really grab. Hence the name, grabber. So anyone who's ever changed one of these, quite routine. Just put it in the slot, slide her back in. Just keep tightening her up until she gets tight. And then once you get her somewhat snug, have your pipe wrench, or if you have an actual locking tool for this, get a nice little snug. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And then all you got to do is just bolt her back together with everything on there. And there you have it. So there you have it, folks. All put back together. Pretty decent compression. So yeah, there we go. I'll put it all back together and I'll make a run video.